Alright, so we're gonna start with this template. So we don't have anything else but the preview. Okay, so we're gonna go step by step. I can identify here which are my divisions wrapping all the content. So here I have one on the top. So I'm gonna start with that one. There is a division for the whole menu, which apparently goes from left to right, so it's 100% width. It covers the whole screen. So I will need my HTML5 document. I'm going to need some styling, so style, type, text, CSS. Okay, and today we're gonna see something new, how to add an external style sheet. So just to start with, we can have like our styles in here, right? Of all, I'm going to remove all my margins, remove all my paddings, etc. Okay? Imagine that I have here all my styles, all my different classes, everything, all my selectors. Well, I can actually just copy all of them and bring them to a new file, which has to be of type CSS. So this is a CSS file. I paste all my classes, my styles. I can actually now get some coloring. And I have to save this document as a CSS document. So file, save as. I'm gonna call this styles.css. And in order to link my HTML file with my CSS file, I have to call the tag link rel style sheet type text CSS and href towards the file, the CSS file. So this is styles.css. They're in the same folder, so just styles.css. As simple as that. Okay. So now I can just go to another file, do all my styling here, come back to the index, and they will work both together as if the whole styles were in the head. Same thing. This is cleaner, and I can share my styles with other pages. So one single style sheet works for all the pages. So if I have 10 pages, 20 pages, I modify something for a heading, for an H1, it's going to change in all of them automatically. I don't have to go one by one. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this part here on the top. So I'm gonna use a header tag. Okay, and that header inside is going to have a nav tag with a list of all my links. So UL list. Each list has an anchor. And the list. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 links. There you go. The first link is homepage. services, blog, photos, about us, links, and contact us. Okay, so far it's just the structure. If I preview this in Firefox, there is absolutely no styling, there's nothing there. Okay, so I'm gonna start by header. Header has a background and has a height. So header has a height of 60 pixels, let's say. Background, and the background is an image which I have here. Yeah, which is okay, yeah, image 2, image 02, and this is a JPEG. So it's inside images, image 02.jpg, and I want it to repeat everywhere. Therefore, I'll leave it as it is. I don't have to specify repeat or repeat X or repeat Y. No, everywhere. By default, it's going to repeat everywhere. Okay. So let's see. There it is. Next, I'm gonna go with my links. So I know that inside header there is nav li. So each li I want them to float left. Good. Then I want to get rid of all the bullets. So that's header nav ul list style known. That's gone. Next, I want to have some separation between them. So padding left 40 pixels. All right. Now I'm gonna work with my anchors. Okay. So anchor. First of all, text decoration known. Now let's see the preview. The text is all in caps, it's in uppercase. So text transformation. Text transform, sorry. Uppercase. Okay, and also the color. I'm going to choose color 666. Okay, perfect. Now, the font. There's a special font here. I know that this font, I can get it from Google Fonts. And the name was, remember the name? Open Sans Condensed, yeah. It's this one right here. So I'm gonna click on Quick Use. Okay. Here are the instructions. I can just copy the link, paste it. I can import it inside my own style sheet. So I just have to copy this code, import it on the top of my style sheet. That's it. That's another way of doing it. Or copy the link and paste it inside the head together with my other styles. Okay, so we have those two options. I prefer this one, so I'll get rid of that. And the way to use this font is just by calling the font family Open Sans Condensed. So I'm going to copy that and paste it inside all. So I want this font family everywhere. Good. That's looking pretty much alike. Then I see there is some margin on the top, or a padding. So I'm gonna go to my anchors, padding top of 15 pixels. Nope. No. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna move down the whole, yeah, all the elements, all the lists. Padding top 20 pixels. Let's see if that works. Okay, now that's too much. 15 pixels. All right. And finally, I need to center them, right? So I know that they are inside nav. So I'm gonna use nav as a selector. I'm gonna give a width to nav of 1000 pixels, and I'm going to margin nav auto. I'm gonna start with that. Okay, it didn't seem to move much, but it's actually centered. Okay, I'm missing the clear float as well. So each li is floating left. So every time I float, after I'm done, so this is float, 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 float. This is the last one to float after I need to clear float. Now I cannot clear float here because I'm inside an unordered list. Inside unordered list, I can only have list elements. So I'm going to do it right after. If they were divisions, then yes, it will be right there. But in this case, I can't. I'm just going to put a division here with the class clear float. So I'm going to create this class now. So clear both. Okay, now I can see that nav is there and it's actually centered. You see the blue area? If I make this page smaller, it's actually centered in the page. What is not centered is the content, right? But nav is centered. So I'm just going to reduce nav until I can center it. Okay, that's enough. So that's 760 pixels. And I'm going to increase the padding left of each one of them. Actually, I'm going to change that for padding right. Okay, and the padding right of each one, I'm going to increase it. Okay, that was too much. There. To 60 pixels. So the padding right will be of 60 pixels. There you go. Now they're in the centered. All of them very nice. Contact. All right. Then I also have a little arrow here, right? After each link. So the way I'm going to place that arrow is inside each link, I'm going to give them a form, a shape. So display block. So automatically they're gonna take the shape of their parent, which is the list, and the list has already a padding right and a padding top, so it's gonna take the shape of that list. And inside the LA, I'm going to add a background URL, and that background of the arrow is this one here, image10.png. So that's inside images, image10.png. Okay. Now, if I leave it like that, I'm going to see the arrow everywhere, and I don't want it there. What I want it is to have it on the right side. No repeat, sorry. I don't want it to repeat. I want it to be on the right side of my anchor. There. It's on the right side. I'm gonna give a gonna make the padding right to the anchor instead. There it is. Okay. So I gave the padding right to the anchor so that actually the anchor can grow. Instead of the list to grow, is the anchor that grows, and then I can have the background inside of it pushed to the right. Okay. Then I don't want it to be so close to the next link. So I'm going to decrease the padding on the right, so let's say 40 pixels, and add a margin right, because the margin is on the outside. Right, so that will be 20 pixels. And there you go. Okay, so then actually the background is inside the anchor. The anchor is right here, and the background is only positioned inside of it on the right. Then after, I have a little margin of 20 pixels also for the anchor. And that's why if you see here, my cursor doesn't change. There is like if there's no link. But the moment that I go over the arrow, it becomes a link. So I can tell from here that all of this is my link. And that's because I gave it a display block. And as a block, I can now add margins, paddings, and also width and height. So if I show you like this, there's the anchor. Okay, the blue area is actually the width and the height of the anchor. The purple area is the padding, and the yellow is the margin. Okay, so that's for the top part. Next, let's go for the title here. The title, I'm gonna wait a bit, because this one I want to see position absolute. I'm gonna work with positioning with the title and with these links here. Usually the easiest way to do this title will be just to give it a width, margin auto, and that's it, we're done. But I want to show you how to use positioning and position absolute, so that's why I'm gonna wait for later and show you how to do this area. Okay, so that was for the header. Now I'm gonna have another division for my content, all the rest, all of these parts, starting from welcome all the way till here. Okay, I have my content and it's all aligned, perfectly aligned, and it's in the middle of the page. So this one, I'm gonna call this a class main wrapper. Okay, and basically I'm gonna have everything inside main wrapper. Now before I continue, I notice here that there is a background, right? And that background belongs to the body, to everything, to the body. So that background is image5.jpg. So now the body should have a background which is in images image5.jpg. Nope. Yeah. Thanks. Nope. URL, sorry. Okay. All right. So now back to the index. I have main wrapper. Main wrapper will just be a division with a width of 1000 pixels, margin auto. So this wrapper is basically going to center everything that I put inside of it. All right, and that's pretty much it up for the main wrapper. Then I have two divisions. One for welcome to Trendy Bees, another one for Lula Luctus Elephant. One division, two divisions. Okay, I'm gonna give here a class LeftContent, and to the second one the class WriteContent. Okay, now inside LeftContent there is a title, so I'm gonna use an H2 for that one. Welcome to Trendy Bees. And there are two paragraphs. So for the content, I'm just going to get some lorem ipsum. One and two paragraphs. Okay. So that's pretty much it for my first division. Then my second division, which is a WriteContent, has also another Um, Another title. Okay. Nulla luctus elephant. And I can tell here because there is some like line underneath, and because they do not end at the same height, that these are separate divisions, or maybe separate links. Each one of them seems to be like a link to a different section. So I'm gonna have some anchors. Href. There must be a title, but I don't know what content that is, so I'm just gonna leave it empty for now. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. With just some random content inside. I'm gonna go to the lorem ipsum and like take some random content. Okay. So that's it. There you go. You see how it's centered? All right. So first, I need to give them a width to both of them and float left. So left content it's a class. Let's start with a dot. We'll get a width. So let's see. According to this thing, should be like somewhere around 600 pixels, right? It has a margin on the left of about 50 pixels, and it floats left. Yeah. Then WriteContent. Since LeftContent and WriteContent are inside main wrapper, which is 1000 pixels, the sum of their widths should be equal to 1000. So 600 plus 50 makes 650. To get to 1000, I am missing 350 pixels. No margin left. Float left as well. Okay. Now, since LeftContent and WriteContent are floating, I need to clear float. So LeftContent, WriteContent, and that's where I'm finishing. That's where I'm going to clear float. Okay. There you go. I think I should put more margin here. So I'm gonna give this 550, maybe 100 pixels for the margin. Margin right, I'm sorry. Margin right. Maybe that's too much now. Yeah, that's way too much. It was okay. 650. Alright, that's better. Then, if I remember properly here, this text is justified. So, LeftContent, the paragraph inside LeftContent has the text align justify. Okay. What else? The color. The color is also 666. There is a bit of line height here. There's a spacing between each line. So line height, let's say 160 pixels. Oh, not pixels, sorry, percent. Okay. And between each paragraph, there should be a space in between. So I'm gonna add a margin bottom 20 pixels. Yeah. I think there's even more separation between each line. Let's add like 180. Let's see if it's not too much. Nah, that's okay. All right. Then H2. Right. So H2. Text transform lowercase. All in lowercase. The characters are close to each other. So that is text spacing. And it's letter spacing, yes, letter spacing. And I'm going to add like minus 2 pixels. Let's see if that's enough. Yep, that's good enough. It's bigger. Font size 20 pixels. Let's see. Wow. Really? $36, very good. And the color, I'm also going to choose the same color. Then the font weight is not bold, so font weight normal. Good. Okay. There's also space between the header, the H2, and the content underneath. So just I'm gonna add a margin bottom. 40 pixels. Okay. Good. And I think that's pretty much. Now I'm gonna go with these ones here, with my links. So that's going to be the WriteContent anchor. And if we see here, the anchors, they are all in the same line, and that is because their display is inline. So I'm going to change that for a block. That's going to send each anchor in a different line. Okay. Then I'm going to add some spacing. So padding bottom. Of 15 pixels. And also a margin bottom of 15 pixels plus a border, also bottom, which if we see in the preview is dotted, or actually is dashed maybe. So 1 pixel dashed, and I'm going to choose CCC. Let's see how that looks. Yep. I don't know if it's too big. There should be more content, but anyways, I'm just going to change the color of the links. So color to some red color. Let's see this one. Not that bad. And no underline for the anchor, so text decoration none. Okay, I'm going to make the WriteContent a bit smaller, so 250, and then the LeftContent a bit bigger, so 700. That's a lot better. Okay. Next, I have a background here. So I'm going to add a division, give it a class, let's say shadow div. I can either make it a background or insert the image. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna put as an image source. It should be inside images, and that image is image04.png. Okay, alt shadow title shadow, and right now it's going to appear on the left, on inside the main wrapper on the left side. So it's right here. I want it in the middle. Now images, they are of type display inline block. So I just have to change the shadow class, and as inline block I could treat it as text. So just text align, center, and that is going to center my image. Okay, then I notice here that there is some space between, so I can just go ahead and add a let's say a margin bottom to the LeftContent. I don't know, 60 pixels, maybe more, 100. There. Okay. Next, there is another division with images. So division, I'm gonna call this one class image wrapper, and inside I have 3 images. Okay, the first one is 07, 08, and 09. Is that it? 07, 08, 09? Yeah, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. So images slash image 07 dot JPEG, and this one is some stones. Oh, 08, which is a total, and 07, which are some stairs. Okay, so now, yeah, 09, thank you. 7, 8, 9. So we said images are of type inline block. They act as text, so they're already going to be one next to the other, right? They are not centered. There is some space here. And also, in the preview, they actually go 1000 pixels exactly, so there is a margin between them inside. So I'm gonna start by giving a margin to the first two, a margin right, but the last one I don't want to get any margin. So the last one, I'm gonna give it a special class. That's one option. The first option is to give it a class. So let's call this last image. Okay, so the first option we have is to the last one give a class last image. So I'm going to say last image margin left known, and this is important. Okay, then to all my other images inside image wrapper, so image wrapper, to all the images inside, I'm going to add them a margin left. Sorry, this margin right. So all my images inside will get a margin right of, let's say, I don't know, 20 pixels, except the last one. Why? Because I want the last one to get completely to the edge of my screen on the right. Well, of the wrapper on the right. Okay, it was too much, so I can use Firebug and reduce the margin right. There. It's 11 pixels exactly. Okay, and if I select them, you see how the first one, the yellow area there, okay, the yellow part is actually the margin right, and the last one also has margin right. That's bad. Last image, it's supposed to say margin right zero. There you go. Okay, now it will allow me to give more margin right to each one of them. Okay, so 17 pixels. Now, something else. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm gonna try to zoom in more. Since they are inline block and they are considered as text, on my HTML, each image is separated by an enter, right? I have an enter. They're not together. They're not like this. I write my code for my first image, enter second image. An enter in HTML is translated as a space. As inline block, as text, there is a space between them. And that is actually affecting my separation as well. And to notice it, I don't know if you can see it, but there is a white area between the yellow and the next image. There's a little white space. That is that space, the enter. So I have two options. Either I get rid of the enter, so there's no more space, or I leave my code clean and nice, and I change the image for display block. And as display block now, enters and spaces, they don't count, they are blocks, but I need to float them left. Okay, so there you go. Okay, now I lost the space of that little area of the space, therefore I can still give them more margin right. So exactly 20. Very good. Yep, perfect. Okay, now since they are floating left, float, float, float. Once I'm done, clear float. Okay, so we're missing now this text underneath and the footer. So we're almost done for today, so I'm gonna stop it now, and in the next one we're gonna continue with this part, and we're gonna look into positioning absolute.